Seasons, and tonight will be Roy Halladay's 142nd home start for the Blue Jays. It could be his last if all the trade talk finally culminates with a deal in the offseason. Despite the circus atmosphere and nagging injury, it has been another solid season for the Doctor. He may not have another Cy Young Award on the way, but he's won 15 games for the 4th straight season. Dr. Dependable, Roy Halladay, goes for number 16. Next on Sportsnet. On a cool, crisp night at the Rogers Centre here in Toronto, the customers get set to see Roy Halladay in what could be his last start at home as a member of the Blue Jays up against the Seattle Mariners, game 2 of a 4-game set. Under clear skies, Halladay stretches and readies for Seattle, his second to last start of the season and last here at home. He's got 15 victories, and he'll look for number 16 tonight on Rogers Sportsnet. From the TD Canada Trust Comfort Zone, welcome and thank you for joining us. I'm Jamie Campbell, glove in hand.
You better have that glove in hand.
I'll be your bodyguard tonight with
Yes.
Pat Tabler. And, all the talk tonight, Pat, is about Roy Halladay and the fact that this might be his final start at home as a member of the Blue Jays. We know this much. He's pitched well in this stadium.
Whenever you buy a ticket, you come down to the Rogers Centre and you get a treat of Roy Halladay, you're always in line for something special. His numbers here are just off the charts. 29 complete games in his career here, 7 of them alone this year.
And if you look back on the season, he has had some dandies, and the one that comes to mind that impressed most people may have come earlier this month when he went the distance against the New York Yankees.
You know, with Halladay, he's got 3 pitches, all of them above average, and he can throw them all at any time. So if you're looking for a breaking ball and you're sitting on that breaking ball, he can buzz that fastball like he did right there against Alex Rodriguez, throws it right by him. So you can't sit on one pitch. You have to be able to just find the ball. He can make it do so many different things, and that's why his numbers are just so good.
Hey, we all love Dave Stieb. Steve had some great years as a member of the Blue Jays, the most wins ever for this franchise, but he never won 20 games, never won a Cy Young like Doc.
Well, his numbers are all in the top 3 in everything that he has done here. I just hope that he could stay here and pitch his whole career here, because you'd see all ones right next to all those numbers right there.
Wouldn't that be something? With more on tonight's ball game, let's send it over to Sam Cosentino. Sam?
Well, Jamie, I asked Cito Gaston before the game if he would manage this game any differently, considering it might be Roy Halladay's final home game. He said, not at all. I have the utmost confidence in Doc. The only thing that will have him pulled out of the game early is if he throws too many pitches. He really feels that, with no disrespect to the bullpen, that there is no better options than having Doc out on the mound.
None at all, and this might be it for him as a Blue Jay in this ballpark. He'll take on the Seattle Mariners when we return on Rogers Sportsnet. Page from nearby Whitby, Ontario, at the Rogers Centre to see his first ever big league game. And Mom and Dad chose wisely because Roy Halladay is on the mound tonight for the Blue Jays, and here he is taking the field. Could this be his final start at home as a member of the Blue Jays? That's to be determined, perhaps in the offseason. But Halladay, once again, the ace of the staff, takes his 15-10 record up tonight against the Seattle Mariners.
Well, I know it's his second to last start of the season. I know that. And a win tonight would be his 16th in total. That would be 4 straight years of reaching at least 16 wins for Halladay. A loss, on the other hand, would tie his career high, which he set last season when he went 20-11. Scouting report for the good doctor. Always a pleasure to call his games when he is on the mound. You've got that sinker, the cutter, and the curveball. 3 outstanding pitches that he can throw at any time. Quick work, fewest pitches per plate appearance per batter in the American League at 3.54, and whipping it up. Halladay has the third. He's third in the American League behind Greinke and Felix Hernandez with a whip of just 1.16, which is outstanding, Jamie. That's walks plus hits divided by innings pitched. Really a true measure of a good starting pitcher.
Let's examine the lineup for the Seattle Mariners tonight. And right off the top, a Hall of Fame bound Ichiro Suzuki, who ho-hum was 2 for 5 last night. He's gone over 200 hits on a season for the 9th time. And some good ones at the top. Gutierrez with a home run last night. Jose Lopez, one of the best hitting second basemen in the league. And Ken Griffey Jr. in what might be his final year of Major League Baseball, hitting just .214, but he bats 4th for the Mariners tonight. Good to see Michael Saunders from Victoria, BC. He'll be in the lineup tonight, playing left field and batting 9th. Here are the Blue Jays wearing their powder blues on Flashback Friday.
Snyder in left field, Wells and Bautista have played some good outfield on this homestand. Encarnacion, McDonald, Hill, and Overbay third to first on the infield, and Rob Barajas, the veteran, in his usual spot, the battery mate with Roy Halladay. Tonight, that's the Blue Jays defense, and stepping in for the first pitch is Ichiro Suzuki.
Time to play some baseball tonight on Rogers Centre. And we're glad that you've joined us as Ichiro takes strike 1.
Ichiro has that average up to 355. But in his career versus Halladay, Doc has handled him at 263 versus Ichiro. The key to this offense, keeping Ichiro Suzuki off base.
Halladay gets ahead of him 0-2 and kicks and fires. There's a strike, and down goes Ichiro. That didn't take much. 3 pitches and he's gone.
I told you, quick work. He makes quick work of a lot of people. 3 pitches against Suzuki. 1, 2, and then backdoor cuttage piece on the backside for his first out.
You said it was a pleasure to be able to watch Roy Halladay every 5th day. We get to do it from these choice seats, the TD Canada Trust Comfort Zone. What a vantage point, Pat.
Don't we love it here? You know, when you're up there on the fourth deck here, the game looks so far away. And you come down here and you remember how fast the game is played.
There's Franklin Gutierrez, who hit a home run last night. 0-1, the pitch from Halladay is fouled back, so once again you see an 0-2 count. Take you back to the 3rd inning last night. Ricky Romero on the mound, and Gutierrez got all of that.
Home run number 17, which is a career high for him. So everyone from now on will add to that. What a pickup for the Mariners from the Indians.
Here's Doc. That's a breaking ball in the dirt. And that was quite a trade, too. That was 11 players and 3 teams.
Yeah, the Mets were involved in that. The Indians were involved in that. Gutierrez was not going to play center field in Cleveland. They already had an all-star there in Grady Sizemore. So they figured they could try and get a piece like an Aaron Heilman to help out that bullpen. Gutierrez has really become a great player here in Seattle.
Here's John McDonald. Smack in the glove of Lyle Overbay. Gutierrez is gone. Out number 2 in the books now. Well, Halladay in his last start lost to the Tampa Bay Rays. Nothing new there. They beat him 4 times this year.
We have to start looking into that a little bit more. They have handled Halladay the last couple of years. Don't know if they just match up well against Halladay, or maybe they found something against him.
Here's Jose Lopez ripping it to right field. He turns for second. Bautista plays it off the wall, and Lopez has a double. And Pat, everybody talks about the great second baseman in the American League, Ian Kinsler, Aaron Hill, Dustin Pedroia. Nobody mentions this guy's name.
But you can match his numbers up against anybody. This is going to be double number 39 on the season from Lopez as he drills it between Bautista and Wells into right field. You throw in 25 home runs and 92 RBIs. That is a lot of production for a second baseman.
He's in scoring position for Ken Griffey Jr., who's only hitting .214. He's knocked out 16 home runs, though, this year. The folks in attendance have it good tonight. They see perhaps the best Blue Jay pitcher ever. And in the first 4 batters for the Mariners, 2 future Hall of Famers. As Griffey awaits the 1-0.
Maybe the bat speed has slowed down a little bit for Griffey, but he's still a dangerous hitter at his age. 16 home runs, that's more than I thought he would hit when he went back to Seattle, but he has always hit the Blue Jays. A .300 average, 24 doubles, 35 home runs. And he has always hit well here at Rogers Center. Besides the ballparks that he has played in, the Kingdome when he was a Mariner, Great American Ballpark and Synergy Field when he was a member of the Cincinnati Reds, Rogers Center is the 5th highest total for home runs hit on the road for Griffey. He has gone long here 15 times.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Halladay checks Lopez at second. Here comes the pitch in the dirt. He hit one last year as a member of the Cincinnati Reds against Halladay. The only one he's ever hit against Doc. In his lifetime, 4 for 10 against Halladay.
Still a dangerous hitter. When he first came up, you could not throw a fastball by him. He was so quick.
The 2-2 lifted softly to left field, and Snyder heads over there, but it bounces out of play and foul.
Slice down the left field line, and you can see Griffey came that close to picking up an RBI.
And I mentioned 4 hits against Halladay. 3 of them are doubles. That would have been number 4. As he tries again on 2-2. Halladay in the top of the first inning, just underway. A 2-out double to Lopez. He's at second. A wave and a miss, and he strikes out Ken Griffey Jr. And that ends the top of the inning. So we'll come back with the bottom of the first after this. He struck out 11 last night. Vernon Wells, though, got him for a home run, a 3-run shot in his last 18 games. Note the numbers, 407 with a pair of home runs. He'll bat fourth tonight for the Blue Jays. And they'll face a right-hander who's really a surprise inclusion in the Mariners rotation these days. You look at Doug Fister.
They've had some injuries to their starting rotation of the Mariners, so Fister makes only his 9th start of the season and will be trying to avoid a losing 3rd consecutive game. The rookie allowed 6 runs and 9 hits in just 4 innings. That was that 10-1 loss at the hands of the Yankees the last time out.
Bautista pops it up. It stays in play. Here comes Lopez from his position at second. And Bautista's gone. We'll set Seattle's defense for you.
We talked about their outfield very good. Franklin Gutierrez has really solidified himself out there. Leads all Major League outfielders in putouts with 419. Josh Wilson will be doing his job at shortstop, not Jack Wilson. He'll be teamed with Lopez up the middle. Beltre Carp on the corners, and Kenzie Jojima back behind the dish after a night off last night.
There's Aaron Hill. And Fister gets a strike. Hill reached base 4 times last night. He had 2 doubles. Would have had 3, but he had 1 taken away. The official change on the scoring was an error, and Jojima comes out quickly, grabs the ball, and throws down to first to get Hill.
That's a heads-up play by Kenji Jojima, who has had a great year defensively for Seattle. Heads-up play because that ball had backspin on it off the bat of Aaron Hill, and he touches it and keeps it in fair territory before it can squibble foul, and bare hands the ball and makes the play at first base. Had to throw around Aaron Hill to get him. Good play right there by Jojima.
With 2 away, here is Adam Lind. You know, Fister started the year in Double-A, and they needed a spot starter with their Triple-A affiliate in Tacoma. So he went up and filled that spot and pitched so well they kept him around. Now he finds his way to the big leagues.
Eric Bedard is hurt and been lost for the season, so they're looking for players to come in and help them. The whole key for Doug Fister is to keep the ball down. In his last start against the Yankees, could not come up with an extra off-speed pitch, and the Yankees made him pay for it. Again, just 4 innings, and the Yankees won that game 10-1.
Lynn smacks this one to left field. Michael Saunders parks himself in front of the Blue Jay bullpen and pulls it down the 3rd and final out. 1 inning has been played. No score from the Rogers Center. BlackBerry Boulder Curve 8900 smartphone from Rogers at any wireless wave T-Booth retail location throughout Canada. Back under clear skies at the Rogers Center tonight. This is Jamie Campbell with Pat Tabler and Sam Cosentino. As the number 5 hitter Adrian Beltre fouls the ball off his foot.
Hasn't Adrian Beltre been a mystery to the Seattle Mariners this year? This is a player who has averaged 25 home runs over the last 3 seasons, and this year just 7 home runs. So where has all the power gone from Adrian Beltre?
Well, he's late on that swing, and it's 2 strikes. He's been hurt a couple of times this year.
Yeah, I know, but he still has over 400 at bats. So you would think, especially a guy who has hit a lot of home runs in his career. Coming into this season, he had 242 big league home runs, so his next one will be number 250. He had a season with the Dodgers that he'll never forget.
And likely never match either.
Yeah. 48 home runs and 121 driven, and he also hit 334. And it just so happened he was a free agent.
So the timing was impeccable.
Perfect.
And he's a free agent this year, too, at the end of this season. And he reaches for that one, rolls it to Encarnacion. He goes across the diamond. Beltre's gone. Halliday's last start in this building came against the Minnesota Twins a couple of weeks back. He lost his 9th of the year that day and was outpitched by Carl Pavano. And Halliday was fuming afterward. Said he threw a bad pitch to Orlando Cabrera, who tied the game in the 6th with a home run, and then Justin Morneau hit his 30th home run of the year and gave Minnesota the lead for good.
You know, but that's how it's kind of been for Halliday since around the All-Star break. You know, he'll pitch well, but he won't have anything to show for it. His last start, and you mentioned it, against Tampa, gave up just 2 runs in 7 innings and still lost to the Rays. 3-1. They just cannot get him offense when they need it. The Blue Jays. He has pitched well enough to win a few more games than what he has this year.
If he'd received a few more runs of support in the games that he eventually lost, obviously his record would be far greater. He has lost 10 this year, and the Blue Jays have provided him with 22 total runs.
22 runs in his losses this year.
That's quite telling. As he gears up for the 2-2 against the catcher Kenji Chojima. Here's the pitch, and it's taken foul.
The one thing that he'll give you when he takes the mound, he's going to give you a great effort. He's going to go as long as he can. And I was kind of joking with Jason Frazier today before the game. I was like, he was coming out to get stretched, and he goes, Halliday's pitching tonight. They probably won't need me. and that's how it's been.
There's the appeal, and he went around. There's Brian Runge, who's about 20 feet from us.
Yeah, now we had a great view of that.
We did indeed.
And I was like, why aren't they calling that first on the pitch? Pitch looked pretty good right there. But then the check swing. And from our vantage point, he went around. Strikeout number 3 for Roy.
And now the first baseman, Mike Karp, taps the plate and readies to face Halliday for the first time. Boy, you're new to the major leagues. This might be a little overwhelming, having to deal with a guy like Doc for the first time.
He's had a few at-bats. He's had 42 this year. And he looks
that
pretty
ball
good there.
Is fair. As Bautista plays it off the wall, Karp is headed for second. The throw comes in, and it gets away from John McDonald. Encarnacion backs up, though. Karp has doubled his first time against Roy Halladay.
Just like the first inning. He got the first 2 batters and then a double by Lopez, and now the first 2 batters, and Karp gets one under the glove of Overbay. This ball could have ricocheted a little harder to Bautista. with his good accurate arm, he would have had a shot at Carp, but it was slow developing off the wall. Carp has his third double.
Last night's hero for Seattle is now up. This is Josh Wilson, who tripled home 2 with 2 out in the 8th inning. And that broke a 3-3 tie. Seattle won 5-4. Felix Hernandez picked up his 17th win. David Aardsma his 36th save. There's the 1-1. Grounded to short. John McDonald with the off-balance throw, dug out by Overbay, and that's the top of the second. They get a double, nothing more, and we head to the bottom half with Wells, Encarnacion, and Overbay coming up for the Blue Jays. Website, hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Sharp's been giving away a few of them, and they can thank Vernon Wells for the latest. His 6th inning home run against Felix Hernandez last night tied the game at 3.
That was a laser, wasn't it?
Whoa.
Hanging slider that got out of here like right now. That's the thing that we have noticed about Vernon Wells over the last 2 weeks or so, that when the pitcher makes a mistake, he has been right on it, and he hasn't missed it. Earlier this year, he's popped it up or hit it off the end of the bat. He is hitting it and hitting it hard now.
One more home run for Wells, and he will tie George Bell for most home runs by a Blue Jay outfielder with 188. That was 187 off a darn good pitcher.
A guy who doesn't give up that many home runs.
Here's the 1-2 from Pfister inside. It was a funny game last night because the Mariners got out to a 3-0 lead. Hernandez was absolutely dealing, and then in the 6th inning, 3 guys come up for the Blue Jays, and bang, it's tied at 3.
How would that inning have looked as Vernon Wells takes a fastball on the outside part of the plate? How would that inning look different if Beltre caught the ball?
That's right.
You know, that error set everything up, as Pfister doesn't overpower a lot of hitters, so he doesn't strike out a lot of guys. He needs good command. Right there, he picks up his first strikeout by painting the outside corner.
Edwin Encarnacion stands in now as Pfister's retired the first 4. You're talking about a 6th inning shot by Aaron Hill that basically went through Beltre's legs. They originally gave Hill a double, later charged the third baseman with an error. Lynn followed up with a base hit, and then Wells brought them all home.
Maybe Hernandez pitches Encarnacion differently. Maybe he faces Hernan Wells with nobody on and 2 out. It's funny how just one play can change the complexion of an inning.
Pfister with a 1-2. He made his big league debut on August 8th against the Tampa Bay Rays. His first big league strikeout was our good friend Greg Zahn. Great numbers in AAA, 79 strikeouts and just 11 walks. And that ball's toward the corner. Ichiro might have some room here, and he does. He corrals the ball right at the wall. Encarnacion is gone. There's 2 away.
You got to find the wall. And that's what he does. Gold Glove outfielder. Tried it in center field last year, but he's more comfortable in right and makes the play easily right in front of the fans down the right field line. He is a complete player. Great fielder, great throwing on him, very accurate. Just 5 assists this year for Suzuki. Nobody's running on him anymore.
Here's Lyle Overbay from Centralia, Washington. Pfister kicks and gets a strike. Overbay grounds to the right side. Lopez takes his time. And another 1-2-3 for Doug Pfister. This mobile network 3 times faster than any other. The Jays have won 22 of their last 32 meetings with this Seattle team in this building.
And if you look at all the numbers over the last 32 games here, the Blue Jays have been pounded them in all the numbers. They've out-homered them. They have a better earned run average. They're scoring more runs per game. Slugging percentage is better. Not so last night. Another one-run win by the Seattle Mariners.
They've had a few of those. 33 of them, in fact.
33 one-run victories this year by Seattle.
Here's Victoria, BC's Michael Saunders. 1 ball and 1 strike as he faces Roy Halladay. And rolls this to Aaron Hill. Saunders is gone, 1 out.
Halladay just seems to come up to the level of good hitting teams. We were talking about the game he had earlier this year against the Angels when he struck out 14. You go through his games this year and who he has faced, he just seems to take it to another level. The Yankees, the 1-hit shutout complete game, best hitting team in the American League. The time the Angels, when he had that 14 strikeout game, they were right at the top in base on balls and on base percentage, but that didn't matter. You just have 1 walk and 14 punch outs, a complete game W, 6-4 over Los Angeles.
In that game against the Angels, 133 pitches thrown. That's a career high for Halladay. And not surprisingly, a career high in strikeouts, 14.
Yeah, and then came back 5 days later against Kansas City, and you think, well, there might be some residue from throwing 133 pitches.
Not likely.
9-inning shutout, 4-0 over Kansas City. He gave up just 7 hits in 9 innings. That was back in June. Before Jamie, that was the start before he hurt his groin against Florida.
Ichiro just gets a piece of that ball and stays alive. Top of the 3rd here in Toronto. Ichiro struck out his last time. Halladay has him 0-2. Here comes the pitch, and it's a breaking ball. Pop foul. It's headed for the top of the dugout. And once again, Ichiro stays alive. There aren't many places where you can pitch him.
No, there really isn't. You know, you can't teach what Ichiro does, how he's able to foul off really good pitches. And Halladay just threw him a great pitch. Watch this approach, how he stays right on it and just flicks his bat at it. That's 2 pitches in a row that he's able to keep his at-bat alive by being able to handle the bat and keep the at-bat alive by just fouling off good pitches. You got to constantly change things up against him. Here's another one. It's like he's running towards first base, but he still has that back control. He keeps it back, and he's able to take pitches out of the catcher's glove and foul them off. You have to have outstanding hand-eye coordination to be able to hit the way that he hits.
Ichiro, a base hit. A diving McDonald can't get to it. And just another day at the ballpark for the great Ichiro Suzuki.
See, he fouls off the really tough pitches from Halladay, 3 in a row. And then Roy tries to change up on him and come inside. And then you're messing with fire when you do that. Ichiro stays inside the ball better than anybody and just flicks that ball past McDonald and into left field for his first hit.
Gutierrez comes back to the plate. He's 0 for 1. And there's ball 1. Seattle with 3 hits now against Halladay in the second of this 4-game series.
Ichiro's always been a threat to steal when he gets to first base. He has a very aggressive lead. 26 stolen bases this year. He's been caught 9 times.
He's got an aggressive lead there. 1 foot on the carpet, and the ball is hit to the right side. Ichiro stops at second. Bautista brings it into Hill. Gutierrez with the inning's second hit, 4th of the night for Seattle, and they're in business here against Doc.
You know, we'll watch Ichiro Suzuki running. Another good piece of hitting here on a pitch that's off the plate by Gutierrez and hits it in the right field. Thought I noticed, being so close, that there's a wrap on Suzuki's leg. Did not come out of the box very hard on his base hit, did not make a hard turn, and did not even attempt to go first to third on that base hit by Gutierrez. See the wrap on that left leg of Ichiro Suzuki, so you wonder if there are some leg problems that he's dealing with.
Strike 1 to Jose Lopez. He doubled his last time up. And what a year for Lopez. With 25 home runs, he's driven in 92. Two on, 1 out. Halladay with a pitch. A good-looking breaking ball. There's the appeal. But this time Runge denies the appeal, and it's 1-1.
Those 25 home runs that you mentioned, Jamie, that's the 19th time in their history that a Mariners hit at least 25 home runs. Ken Griffey Jr. did it 7 times. 25 home runs is a lot of home runs.
Lopez rolls this to Hill, who underhands to McDonald, steps off the bag, gets the double play. Halladay certainly appreciative, and that gets him out of the 3rd. Still no score from the Rogers Center in Toronto. You to bring the kids to the ballpark. Pick up your tickets at the ticket window prior to the game. You can get them at most Rogers Plus locations as well. Youngster Doug Fister right now out pitching Roy Halladay. Fister has yet to give up a base hit. He's retired the first 6 and sees Barajas, Snyder, and McDonald here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Barajas is certainly in a mini slide. He's gone 0 for his last 19.
Still has very good production. The average is down to 231, but look at the production. 18 home runs and 66 driven in. For the most part this year, he has hit down at the bottom of the lineup. So if the guys in the middle lineup haven't driven him in, Barajas for the most part has. Is that anywhere near us, Jamie?
Think it may be. It's right behind you, in fact.
Here I am.
You got to talk to this gentleman right here.
Just bring it over.
All you have to do is reach back and ask politely, I'm sure.
I've got to throw my back out. These chairs are so comfortable. I don't want to.
Here's the 2-2. And that's fouled away. Well, there's a very cool breeze flowing through the Rogers Center tonight. These seats are so darn comfy. We might just end up falling asleep.
No chance.
See, look how close the popcorn is to you right there. Pfister with the 2-2 pitch. Got him. Down goes Barajas.
Well, that will take us right to the scouting report, and it fits right in on our first point about Doug Pfister. His fastball has very good sinking action to it. He'll also throw a slider and a curve, and one of his better pitches is the change. The change is on, and when it is, he's got 4 pitches that he can throw for strikes, and there's going to be a lot of them. Expect a lot of strikes. You were talking about his minor league numbers in AAA. This year, he started in AA. He had 24 games in the minor leagues, covering 112 innings. He had just 12 base on balls. So Blue Jay batters go up there ready to swing the bat. He's going to be around the plate. Watching him, he's 6'8". They have him listed at 6'8". He creates a very interesting downward movement because he's so tall. A good plane with the ball. Watching him pitch, he reminds me a lot of John Garland. Remember John Garland, who was with the White Sox and the Diamondbacks? I believe he's with the Dodgers now.
He is.
Tall, thin, comes right over the top, and great action on his fastball.
And he just struck out Travis Snyder. So that's 3 tonight. He's got a lot of Chris Volstad in him, too, from the Florida Marlins.
Creating that angle because he's so tall. Volstad is listed at about 6'7" or 6'8", just like Pfister. Same thing, right over the top and good movement.
Well, Pat, 8 up and 8 down right now. John McDonald, the number 9 hitter. And we're not talking about a high first-round pick here in Doug Pfister. He was taken in the 7th round in the 06 draft.
Whenever you're facing a pitcher for the first time through, advantage the starter. I would like to see him from the 2nd time and 3rd time through and see if the Blue Jays pick up anything from him.
A chopper to 3rd. Beltre has it. McDonald is out, and Pfister picks up another 1-2-3 inning. After 3, no score. You're watching Blue Jays baseball on Rogers Sportsnet.
Jays Care Foundation and Rogers Wireless have partnered up on a new initiative, and now you can donate to the Jays Care Foundation through your cell phone by texting CARE, C-A-R-E, to the short code 20222. $5 donation will be put on your bill, so if the bosses are watching, that's what the $5 is for. But during the course of tonight's game, if you donate, Rogers will match it with an extra $5 thereafter. So pretty good initiative launched today in partnership with Jays Care and Rogers Wireless.
Great stuff, Sam. Thank you so much. As Ken Griffey Jr. pops this one up. Here's McDonald ranging over. And he takes it away from Aaron Hill. Griffey Jr.'s gone. And I made this claim the last time we sat in these seats, and I came up empty. I will do it again tonight if I get a foul ball. We'll invite the viewers to offer up a donation, and we'll raise a little money if we can for the Jays Care Foundation.
Didn't you get one the first?
Yeah, 2 years ago we sat
2 years
here.
ago.
And Reed Johnson caught a fly ball in right field, ran off the field, and chucked it my way.
Fired it at you.
Yeah, yes, that's true.
Well, you got one already today, didn't you? What'd you do with that one?
Ah, that's just batting practice. It's right here.
That doesn't count.
You know, we need these baseballs down in this section just to keep the people behind us happy. There's Beltre. This is start number 31 for number 32 on the mound. He's allowed 4 hits to this point, not a run though. Gets a swing from Beltre. 2 balls and 1 strike.
His ERA in his career against the Mariners is very good at 2.6. He has made 12 starts against Seattle and has a winning record at 5-4.
Seven complete games for Halladay this year. That leads the American League. All of them right here.
Yeah. We were talking about that. We were going to do something at the beginning of the game. Another strikeout for Halladay. He's going to go upstairs to get Beltre. He struck out Ichiro Suzuki to lead off the game looking. And now the last 3. Hard stuff away and out of the zone to get Beltre. We were talking about the complete games, and I can't remember one on the road, so I started doing some investigative work and found out that all 7 of his complete games were right here at Rogers Center.
That's certainly value for your ticket.
And a good crowd tonight.
Yep.
Being down here, you can look up into the upper levels. You can see how many fans there are here for Halladay's last home start this season.
Jojima tags this, and it gets between Wells and Bautista. It's Wells picking up the ball as Bautista ducks. Been chuckling over something out there.
Been an interesting year for Jojima offensively. It just hasn't been there for him. But he doesn't miss a pitch. Mistake from Halladay. Pitch that was up, and again he splits the outfield. Just like Jose Lopez did in the first inning after 2 were out. Jojima has just his 10th double of the season.
The Mariners have 3 2-out doubles in this game. One from Mike Karp, who stands in there now. Karp arrived in the big leagues for the first time this June. Pinch running in a game in San Diego. He was one of the 11 players involved in that New York Mets, Cleveland Indians, Seattle Mariners deal in the offseason. He came over from the Metropolitans. The centerpiece of that trade was J.J. Putz, who headed from Seattle to New York.
Putz goes to New York with Green and Jeremy Reed. Aaron Heilman, Jason Vargas, who's up here, a left-handed pitcher, was part of that trade.
The 1-1 up high. And we marveled last night at David Aardsma's 36th save. Aardsma was a journeyman, and he wrestled that closer's role early on in the year, and he's been fantastic.
Was he released by the Boston Red Sox a couple of years ago?
Yes, he was. He's been released a few times. Here's a fly. into short center field. Wells comes in and makes the grab. So once again, Halladay gives up a 2-out double, but is able to get out of it. He's pitched 4 and has not given up a run. Aquos LED, the evolution of LCD TV continues. And tonight we thank you for joining us. I'm Jamie Campbell with Pat Tabler, Sam Cosentino on Flashback Friday. And Blue Jay alumni Jose Cruz Jr. pays a visit to Toronto. If he looks like he hasn't been out of the game long, well, in fact, he hasn't. He was playing last year for the Houston Astros.
He looks like he's in pretty good shape.
Well, it's the 4th inning, and let's see if the Blue Jays can ruin Doug Fister's perfect start. Top of the order and second time through, and this was a point you made last inning. Let's see what they can do when they come back up again.
9 up and 9 down through 3. He's basically changed speeds the first time through and used his fastball, pitching off of his fastball. He's thrown a couple of dandy ones. Barajas and Snyder come to mind, fastballs that he got those hitters with. Mixed in a little bit of a slider that goes off of Jojima. Right off his hand. You're supposed to stick that right behind your leg there. Jojima leaves it exposed, and Bautista finds it. He has had a great year throwing out base runners, Jamie. Jojima. He has thrown out half the runners trying to steal against him. He's thrown them out, which is #1 in the American League. So if they get somebody on after they foul that ball right off of his fingers, take off.
He gets a couple of test catches here from Fister just to see if everything's okay. He's fine. And it's a ball and 2 strikes on Bautista. Grounded up the middle. Lopez has it behind the bag and throws him out 1 down.
Boy, it helps to have a strong arm as a middle infielder. Lopez goes on the other side of second base and then comes up throwing. He played first base last night. Tonight he's at second, showing off his arm. Didn't have a chance to last night. Good play.
Offensively, here's the best of the second baseman this year. And the numbers tell you that Hill has been perhaps the most valuable player to these Blue Jays all year long.
Yeah, how do you pick between him and Adam Lind? I don't think you can. When you're talking about offensive number, you can throw in Marco Scudero as being a valuable offensive player. He's the guy who's on base pretty much all the time when Hill and Lind were coming up and knocking him in.
If you had to pick, I guess the only way you could side one way or the other is that Hill, playing second base every day, is in the field so much more often. You remember Adam Lind was DHing for a long time, had some time in left field, but for the most part a DH. Not to take anything away from what he's done at the plate, but there's the involvement on the field as well that has to be considered.
And you would think that that would tip the scales towards
maybe just a little bit.
Hill. Well, he's played a great second base. He's only had 7 errors all season long, playing just about every single day.
2-2. He hits this fly ball to center field. And Gutierrez makes the catch. And both men, Pat, as you know, have come back. In the case of Aaron Hill, it was from a concussion suffered in May of last year. In the case of Adam Lind, it was a serious lack of confidence. At the beginning of last season, he spent a great deal of time in AAA and wondered if perhaps he did not have a future at the major league level. But when Cito Gaston took over as manager of the team in June, on that day, Lind came back up, got into the lineup, played left field, and it was like that for the rest of the season. Gave him an opportunity to prove what he could do.
And he's gotten better, and he has learned. And you're going to make it out here as Fister goes 1, 2, 3 again through 4 innings. We are at the end of 4 with no score.
Doing little of nothing, finds his way down to the TD Canada Trust comfort zone.
Does he think there's a chair here for him?
Well, there will be, because he's carrying popcorn.
Okay.
I know how hungry you are all the time.
Bring it in. Let's go.
Cosentino works half a game and then just settles back into the comfy chairs for the rest of it.
Keep score. Where's your scorebook? Yeah, there it is. Come on.
The batter is Josh Wilson.
Corn's great.
I guess.
And that ball caught on the fly by Aaron Hill.
Do you need a pen? Do you need an extra pen to keep score? Oh, you're not keeping score. Oh, okay.
See, now you guys know how it feels to come down and sit in the cold and brave the elements.
Sit in the cold?
Oh, yeah.
Sid, you've been
What are you
walking
talking
all
about?
over this place.
Yeah, but normally, you know, I've got the rain, umbrella, I've got 6 layers on.
Wham.
You guys are up there with the heat. You've got coffee coming to you.
Time out. Time out.
Hey.
Heat? What? Heat
Up
where?
in the booth.
No heat up in the booth.
Boston, I'm freezing. Got the flu.
Jamie, Boston is freezing. There's no heat up in the booth there.
No, just another day with a complaining Cosentino. Michael Saunders is the batter now. What a bright young player this man is.
Speaking of heat, Bob, where's my coffee? No, I'm just kidding.
I forgot how fun it was to be down here. This is great.
Yeah. Game's fast, isn't it?
Too fast.
2-1. Hey, Saunders wanted to make sure we said hello to his parents who are watching in Victoria, Derek and Jane Saunders. As he gets jammed there.
No, he didn't get jammed.
He got around on that thing.
He got the head out. And that was right over our heads. Woo. On the linea. Wow. It's got a nice looking swing. It's short and quick and right to the ball. Halliday tries to run that cutting fastball in on his hands, but he's too quick.
And the 2-2 pitch is strike 3 called, and Saunders goes down looking.
Roy has that ability of moving pitches around. Cut fastball in that he pulls foul, so it's time to go to the outside. Saunders gives up on it, and it's strikeout number 5 for Roy Halladay.
This was a great battle last time up. I really enjoyed what Doc was trying to do, work away, and then come in. Ichiro's just so fast and flip it out to left field for that base hit. It's a great hitter, great pitcher, and enjoyable to watch.
You know what do you do?
I don't know. I don't think there's an answer for that.
I think Jason Fraser asked you that question, did he not, before the game?
He did. He said, you know, I have not had any success against Ichiro Suzuki in my career. He's 6 for 8 against me. I said, well, throw a fastball right down the middle. You'll surprise him. You know, you've tried everything else.
This has popped up. In comes Encarnacion. He takes it on the fly, and Halladay retires the side in order here in the 5th inning. Still 0-0 at the Rogers Center. We hope you're enjoying it as much as we are. The Blue Jays bring back some great players from their past, like Jose Cruz Jr. with a sweet swing picked up from the Seattle Mariners in '97 and had some great seasons with this ball club. And we were talking before, Pat Tabler and I, that you look like you're freshly retired. You could still play because you were playing last year, weren't you?
That's absolutely right. It's kind of very weird, you know, being that guy. I remember making fun of that guy when I was a player, and now I'm that guy.
The guy who retired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, great to see Jose Cruz Jr. who thankfully replaces Sam Cosentino in that seat there, because Cosentino shows up and does nothing but complain. So we get an ex-big leaguer coming to visit, as Wells is out by a step with the first out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. What are you doing with yourself post-baseball?
Well, currently I'm just working on my golf game, trying to make it, get my handicap in the single digits. But that's it, hanging out with the family and coaching my kids and being at their school functions.
Are you living down in Miami?
I live in Miami.
Did Alex Gonzalez tell me that? Are you guys?
He's watching my kids right now.
He was up here, and we were talking about that. He's trying to put together like a camp or something for kids.
Yes.
Are you involved in that?
I am there. I help when I can. I'm kind of extra credit coach guy, but he did. He got his baseball academy going. You know,
academy. That's
going 100% right now. My kids are involved in it.
How old are they?
So my boys are 11 and 10, and my daughter's 7.
Players.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay, maybe another one.
4th generation? 3rd generation?
3rd generation.
That would be 3rd generation.
Yes. Trey Cruz.
Well, anybody that remembers Houston Astros baseball remembers your father, and what a baseball family, because your 2 uncles played in the big leagues too, did they not?
That's right. They, I think they were the second, group of brothers that played in the outfield all at the same time, behind the Alous, I believe.
The Alou brothers, right?
They all did it in St. Louis.
There's a base hit to right field, and that ends the perfect bid by Doug Fister. And a tip of the cap to that young man. He had retired 13 straight before Encarnacion's base hit.
And maybe you have to do this. A pitch off the plate, stay right with it. Don't try and pull it. Punch it in the right field for the Jays' first hit of the night.
That was a beautiful piece of hitting.
Wasn't it a good piece of hitting?
Man.
Fastball away.
Perfect.
Our guest is Jose Cruz Jr. here in the TD Canada Trust Comfort Zone as we look at Lyle Overbay. And how did it feel for you in '97? You were considered a can't-miss prospect by the Mariners. You came up for a time with them, and then the next thing you know, you're on your way to Toronto.
Yeah, it was wild. Actually, I was on my way to hit my second at bat, and they called me back in Milwaukee, and they told me in the tunnel there, Lou Piniella and a guy named Lee Palacutis, I believe, just retired, told me, hey, you've been traded to the Blue Jays. And I was like, what? You know, so, and then you packed up your stuff, and it's funny because I have all my jerseys from every team. Oh, you get a fly ball to left here.
Was that the first time you were traded?
Yes, first
it's always
time.
the hardest, isn't it?
It was very hard. So I still have all the jerseys for all my teams except for the Mariners, because it was such a whirlwind. You know, I was in the shower. I mean, I remember I got a naked hug from Jay Buhner, and it was mayhem, man.
Too much info.
Too much information. It's right.
Too much.
It's crazy, man.
So, are you going to get one? Are you going to?
You know what? I need to.
This is the perfect time.
You're right. You're absolutely right, man. I just didn't do it, man. 97 Mariner jersey is missing in my wall.
Well, no naked hugs here. It's
no
freezing
naked
out
hugs.
here.
Yes, that would be very awkward.
What was your most memorable moment with the Blue Jays?
Man,
or were there a few?
There were quite a few. You can't just say one, because it's like I did some things here that were great. And a double.
There we go. Base hit into the corner as Encarnacion steams for third. Barajas breaks out of an 0 for 20 in a big way. He doubles with 2 out in the 5th inning.
All right, let's break the no-hitter and then break the shutout.
Let's get the shutout now. If Barajas, the ball could have rattled around down in that corner a little bit.
Yeah.
That would have been a run.
That ball kicks out perfectly for the outfielder.
Right to the outfielder. There it is, right there. Reed Johnson used to play that perfectly down the left field line.
Used to practice that here. I remember that.
Off the wall.
Off the wall. Before batting practice it, especially at right field, because you can turn, spin, and throw. I think Snyder did it earlier. He almost got the guy out.
Yep.
Here he is with a pair of men in scoring position. The Blue Jays finally have a couple of hits against Doug Fister, and Snyder's out in front of that one. Our guest tonight on Flashback Fridays is former outfielder Jose Cruz Jr. Oh, I still can't get over you're retired. I remember like it was yesterday you getting traded here.
It was wild. It's been kind of weird watching baseball, to be honest with you.
last year was your last year?
Last year.
It must be difficult to come to the conclusion that your playing days are over.
Yeah, it's it wasn't that difficult because like the last couple years I've been pushed around a little bit and I've been the guy that's like, oh, we got to make room for someone, so let's just get rid of Cruz. That's what it seemed like. So I mean, it was just like I wanted to get 10 years, and I got to 10 years, and then I was like, you know what, what's my motivation? And I don't want to be a fifth outfielder if that's what people think that I am, because a lot of times with organizations and baseball people, it's how they believe in you and how they see you, and if you don't really get a chance to do well, then it makes it that much difficult to play.
Your father has stayed in the game for many years. I played against him many years ago. So do you see yourself getting back into the game like that as a coach?
You know what? I'm not sure. I'm not going to say no because I'm not sure.
Too early.
Too early. I mean, maybe in some capacity it could happen. Yeah, but I mean, as far as just going in and starting, doing some A-ball stuff or whatever, I don't know if I want to do that right now. I mean, part of the reason I didn't even pursue it anymore is because of the kids, and I didn't want to have that schedule with them. And if I did coach professionally, it would be that schedule again, and that schedule kind of drives you crazy after a while. So I mean, that's been one of the good things, not being on a schedule, being retired, which is nice. In a way, it's nice.
You don't see your kids very much in a profession like this, do you?
Oh my God, it's terrible, man. I mean, as a player,
There's Snyder.
Get heavy, ball.
Out to left field. Saunders is in, and that is the end of the frame for the Blue Jays. They leave too. Hey, Jose Cruz Jr., thank you so much.
My pleasure,
for
man.
stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
I think Cosentino wants his seat back.
Yeah, he does. He wants his water back.
Away 10,000 fleece blankets. We could use 3 of them right now.
Oh, yeah.
Nah.
416-341-1234, the number to get tickets for the final home game of the season. It's come that quickly.
It's hard to believe in, isn't it?
It is indeed.
So hard
After
to believe.
5 innings, here is the matchup, Halladay and Pfister. Boy, the young man from Seattle in just his 10th big league start has fared well against the master.
Well, he's throwing strikes. It's like Halladay. They haven't walked a batter. They're throwing strikes, and they're getting ahead of the hitters.
Here in the 6th, Gutierrez, Lopez, and Griffey coming up for Seattle. It was fun to visit with Jose Cruz Jr. And Sam, I know you know him well.
Yeah. He used to keep his locker a mess. I used to be on him all the time.
He cleans up well.
Yeah, he sure does.
The 0-2 in on the fist. There goes the bat. Encarnacion has the ball.
Anytime a third baseman can cut across and make a play in front of that shortstop, you have to do it. The only problem is you're going so hard to your left, you've got to turn around and make a strong throw. It's hard to do. Encarnacion gets enough on it. It bounces in front of Overbay. He picks up his third baseman by picking that ball out of the dirt for the first out.
If you sit here long enough, you really appreciate how good Overbay is at making those picks at first base. They are not easy, and he does it routinely and makes it look easy.
You know what else he has is he's got a very strong arm for a first baseman. You don't generally see that.
Encarnacion juggles the ball, throws high, and Overbay comes down and gets him. Right on cue, gentlemen. What a play.
Well, he stays right with it. Easy play right at him, and this is where Encarnacion has had problems right here. The easy play. He gets underneath the throw. It takes off on him, but Overbay with a presence of mind to come down with the ball. And in one fell swoop, tag Lopez for the second out.
Don't you feel at times, guys, that the ball hit right at Encarnacion? It seems to me as if he's thinking about his footwork. And anything left or right, he picks it without a problem and knows he doesn't have enough time to get the feet set and throws it over. Seemingly fewer errors or throws off base when he has to move left or right.
The thing about that is when you don't have to think about it, when you just go out there and react and just play the game and just react, you know, that's when he comes up with great plays. When he has time to think about it, the hand gets underneath the ball and it takes off. We're having fun with Lyle Overbay. He was saying how he was getting up off the ground.
You're sending hand signals out to him now, and now he's looking over. I think he wants to come over and actually speak with you.
He was asking how high he was getting up on that ball, and it was huge. He was way up there.
The 1-2 pitch, and there goes Ken Griffey Jr. on the foul tip. A strikeout for Halladay, and he gets the Mariners in order here in the 6th inning. And look who's coming over. Brian Runge's got some talking to do with run in the 6th inning. One lucky contestant wins a 40-inch Sharp Aquos LCD TV with LED backlight. The innovators of LCD TV now bring you their best picture yet. Aquos LED. The evolution of LCD TV continues. To find out more, please go to the website hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. A gorgeous but cool night here in Toronto. Situated underneath the CN Tower, the Blue Jays and Mariners. Game number 2 is a scoreless one. 5 hits for the Mariners, 2 for the Blue Jays.
This could work out for the Jays when you talk about home runs. I know that Pfister has pitched well to this point. The problem that he has had this year, Jamie, and the 8 starts that he has had for Seattle, is he's given up too many home runs. Coming into this game, 47 innings worked, he'd given up 10 home runs already. But so far in this game, he has kept the ball down. He has changed speeds very well, and the Jays have not been able to get the ball in the air.
And no team in the major leagues has hit more home runs this month than the Blue Jays. They have 29 of them. There's a strike called. 1-2. Now, first base umpire Brian Runge came over during the commercial, and he has basically given us permission to call the rest of the plays at first the rest of the night. He said, I'm going to look over there, and you guys either give thumbs up or thumbs down.
If he got it right.
The QuesTech system.
Yeah, the amateurish QuesTech. Oh, he wants approval from us.
He's got it.
I thought he was giving us authority.
Every call that he makes is right.
Jojima shows off the ball to the home plate umpire, Jerry Lane. And that's strikeout number 4 for Pfister.
Change up going down. Mike Blowers was telling me yesterday that when he has a good changeup complementing his fastball, he can be tough, and he has had decent games since being recalled.
Well, his 2 victories this year have come against 2 of the best hitting teams in all the American League, the Yankees and the Los Angeles Angels, as Bautista smokes that to center field. Base hit number 3 for the Blue Jays. It comes with 1 out in the 6th.
Starting to reach him now, starting to get a feel for what he does and what his types of pitches do. A couple of hits last inning, 2nd and 3rd. They were not able to cash him in, and now a 1-out single by Bautista.
Here's Aaron Hill, 0 for 2. And it's now 3rd time through the order against Pfister, who has thrown just 68 pitches to this point.
Right-handers have given him trouble. Good right-hander up there now in Aaron Hill.
We touched on the numbers Jose Lopez has put up this year. Nobody can touch Aaron Hill for runs driven in by a second baseman this year. Not in the American League, not in the National League. So much focus is put on those in this division, the East, so you hear all kinds of things about Robinson Cano and Dustin Pedroia.
Brian Roberts has had a good year.
Brian Roberts too.
Ian Kinsler over in the West. Boy, if you think about it, there are some second basemen who are putting up some huge numbers. Dan Uggla, he was on that list.
Mister with a pitch, and this is belted to left field. Saunders back at the wall, and you can kiss that one goodbye. Chalk up another one for Aaron Hill as Superman heads home, his 34th home run of the year.
Something off speed from tonight's starter Pfister. That looked like a changeup that hung right over the middle of the plate. Just talking about it, how right-handers have hit him, how he has given up 10 home runs in the 47 innings. And Aaron Hill right on cue belts one out.
Pretty good call, Mr. Tapp. Pretty good call.
In the 6th inning also.
That means there is a television to give away, courtesy of Mr. Hill. And Sharp has now awarded one lucky contestant a 40-inch Sharp Aquos LCD TV with LED backlight. Aquos LED, the evolution of LCD TV continues. To see if you're the winner, please go to hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. We've given a lot of, I'm telling you, it's the 6th inning thing.
It's the 6th inning.
Gave one away last night when Vernon Wells went deep. Snyder hit a 6th inning home run on Wednesday against Baltimore. 2 of them were hit Monday against Baltimore in the 6th. Overbay with one, John McDonald another.
I remember watching that game. Good pitch there from Fisker. If they hit 3 in 1 inning in the 6th inning, what do we win?
We get nothing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Popcorn.
In fact, the way things are going, Sharp's going to run out of stock.
I thought they said we won something. Good job there.
Always looking for the benefit. And there is a young man having a great time tonight. Seeing a terrific ball game, munching on some popcorn, and watching now as Vernon Wells bats. He's 0 for 2. 2-0 for the Blue Jays. They hit the board first here in the 6th inning. Fister kicks with the 2-0, and that's in for strike 1. Tomorrow afternoon, David Percy takes the hill. Ian Snell goes for Seattle. We'll have game 3 for you at 1 Eastern time, 10 a.m. Pacific. Breaking ball on the ground, and that gets through. A base hit for Wells.
See, they've seen his breaking ball now. They've seen the changeup. They're picking up a pattern. They've seen the curveball. 3 hits now this inning, 2 last inning. Wells has been doing this over his last 18 games, hitting over 400. Bangs that ball right back through the middle.
Going up the middle, even going the other way like he did last night. And that's when he's at his best, because if you start to try and move the ball in on him, that's when he'll really hurt you.
You know what, Sam? That at-bat last night against Hernandez was probably his best at-bat of the season, I thought. Considering the score, considering the situation, and considering the pitcher.
How nasty he was.
He was dirty. And his at-bat last night when he singled into right field, I think was his best at-bat of the season.
And that's what run producers do. They get in those situations where you can smell the blood a little bit, and you don't have to hit it out of the park. A little fillet of fish to right field there, and got the job done.
Here's another hitter who's been swinging a hot bat. Encarnacion.
You've seen some of that power before, Pat.
Yeah.
In Cincinnati.
Yeah, when he gets to the head of that bat moving, and he gets the lower half moving in conjunction with the upper half, he's got as much power as anybody.
He hits this one a long way. Left center field. Saunders backing up, and he pulls it down for the out. Power indeed, but that falls short. Aaron Hills did not. This is number 34 this season, and with a man
by Home Hardware and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Welcome back to the TD Canada Trust Zone. You know how much they eat down here? This is David Witten over here. He's 16 years of age. He just wrote down what he's eaten in this ball game. 3 hot dogs, a large Coke, large fries, 1 Oreo ice cream bar, and a bag of peanuts already. And what? We're in the 7th inning. He eats like you, Tab.
No. Time out. Used to eat.
All right.
Used to eat. Now, is that all for free?
No, they're paying for it.
All right.
It's their college fund. There's a fly ball to right field. And Bautista is there. And Beltre is retired. We've reached the 7th inning already. Nothing new here. You've got Roy Halladay working quickly, as he always does, and Doug Fister, too. And with 1 out, Kenji Jojima is the batter, 1 for 2. He struck out and doubled.
It's amazing how walks just slow the pace of the game down. I mean, it seems when guys aren't being walked, runs can still score, but they seemingly score in much quicker fashion.
The game is crisper. The defense is better. The game calling by the catcher is a little bit more aggressive. Guys aren't nibbling.
Halladay is 1-0. Sails in for a strike. Jojima's playing time's been reduced a little bit. They really like Rob Johnson. Enough that they traded away the #1 catching prospect in Jeff Clement to Pittsburgh. It's funny how you come up to an organization in a certain position, and if somebody is already there and established, it's so tough to break in. You made that point about Gutierrez when he was with Cleveland.
You know, but what the good organizations do, other organizations, they recognize that. And they say, hey, that's a good player who's not going to play. And they go out and trade for him. Adrian Gonzalez comes to mind from Texas. He was stuck behind Mark Teixeira. San Diego went out and stole them from the Texas Rangers, and now he's a 40 home run guy.
There's a shot to left field. Snyder quickly chases it down as Jojima is easily into second with a double. He's got 2 of them tonight.
Got into double figures last at bat with that double. His 10th of the season. Now picks another pitch that is hung by Roy Halladay right in his wheelhouse, and he rips it into the corner for his 11th.
And it brings back Mike Karp. You know, the Blue Jays might be on the market for a shortstop in the offseason, and I heard today that if they asked Aaron Hill to go from second to short, he probably wouldn't say no. I'm not sure he'd want to. I think he's really gained a comfort level at second base.
That would be a lot to ask. Taking your all-star starting second baseman, who is comfortable at where he's at, and asked him to play a more demanding position.
And they've already asked him once in his career because he came up as a shortstop.
J.P. Ricciardi saying that yesterday, that it's a possibility. I don't think he really looked at it anything more than that. And what he did is just kind of open that door and leave the door open.
Who would play second base then?
Well, the feeling is, whether it's an Emis or a Campbell, that there might be more options in the minor league system at second.
Strikeout of Mike Karp. Down he goes. Number 7 on the night, and then all the people here are thrilled because that gives them a free slice of pizza.
Halladay's had a good breaking ball tonight, and it's on display right there. Number 7.
Boy, the people behind us jumped up as if it was like the 3,000th of his career.
What about your buddy sitting beside you? He's got to love it. What, free piece of pizza?
More food.
Yeah.
You know, to finish on that point about moving, if their starter leaves. Well, we'll talk about it next inning. This ball is skied to Lyle Overbay. And Halladay pitches around a one-out double by Jojima. Has the shutout going. Through 6.5. It's stretch time.
Early on, we marveled at the pitching of Doug Fister, but Roy Halladay, in search of his 16th win, is the man with the lead here in the bottom of the seventh.
Yeah, he's going to try and make that Aaron Hill two-run home run that he hit last inning stand up. 7 shutout innings for Halladay, 7 strikeouts. Blue Jays are going to try and add on now.
This is Overbay. He puts his head down knowing this ball stays in the park. And there's Michael Saunders pulling it down. And that's the first out of the 7th. I'm Jamie Campbell tonight with Pat Tabler, Sam Cosentino, and where's our statistician, Scott Carson? He's certainly not in these seats.
He's not upstairs either.
It's an empty booth.
What, are they paying him to do nothing?
There he is.
I see him.
Finally. All alone up there.
A little drool on the pillow.
Here's Rod Barajas, who busted out of an 0 for 20 with his double in the 5th inning. It took a while, but the Blue Jays finally got a base hit against Fister in the 5th. And this one is rolled to Beltre. He gets Barajas 2 down. Let's take a moment right now to wish a happy 63rd birthday to Tom Hardy. And Tom is watching from the Fairmont Hot Springs Resort in BC's Columbia Valley. As well, a belated 76th wish to Terry Stevenson checking in from Calgary. So our best to all of you watching on Sportsnet tonight. The Blue Jays are on top 2-0. Swing and a miss from Travis Snyder. Earlier in the game, Pat, we were talking about Adam Lynn's struggles early last year. Are they similar to what we've seen from Travis Snyder?
You know, when Adam Lynn was ping-ponging up and down in the big leagues, minor league, Cedar Gaston was telling me today that he felt that he wasn't getting ready to hit a fastball, and pitchers could throw fastballs by him. Made that adjustment. And I think that's what Travis Snyder is going to have to do. Pitchers are really busting him in with that fastball and up and in. So he's going to have to learn to hit a good major league fastball, something that Lind was able to do.
Well, you forget how young he is, too. I mean, he's probably still living to learn life away from the field. you know, cooking for yourself and packing, all those things.
There's a base hit.
Well, I know at 21 I would not be able to do what he's been doing. Cito said something to me interesting today. He said, you know, he's got 9 home runs. You know, we sent him down and he spent some time in the minor leagues. You know, you double those home runs, which he probably, if he'd stayed here all year, he'd probably have 18 home runs.
Yes.
Which is pretty good for a young player.
Absolutely.
You know, the batting average might not be there, but the power numbers are. And he believes that he's going to be a power hitting outfielder when all's said and done.
He's on with 2 out. John McDonald swings at the first offering. And this is headed for center field. It seems to handcuff Gutierrez. And so McDonald keeps the line moving. He's got his first base hit of the ball game.
Nick Leyba is now reminding Travis Snyder that there are 2 outs. He had held up to see if that ball was going to fall in, forgetting how many outs there were. He actually stopped between first and second, thinking that there's 1 out right here. But the scoreboard says 2. And Snyder, I don't think he would have been able to get to third base, but
home game, and after the ball game is over, 10 lucky fans receive the game-worn jersey from a select Blue Jay player. So join us for the last game of the year. It comes your way this Sunday at 1 o'clock local time. It's the Mariners and the Blue Jays. That one has Brian Talent against left-hander Ryan Roland Smith. Here's Chris Jackubowski. He's been in the rotation, mostly in the bullpen this year for Seattle. And he comes in to replace Doug Fister, who goes 6 2/3 against the Jays tonight and leaves with a couple of men on.
You mentioned him starting and relieving last time he was in as a reliever. You have to go back over 3 weeks ago against Oakland. He threw a couple of scoreless innings at the A's.
There's a throw down to first. McDonald hustles back in time. Bautista hoping to pad Roy Halladay's lead right now, as Jackubowski sets the 1-1 pitch in the dirt. Jojima has to chase it down, and both runners advance.
If you're a base runner late in the game in a close game like this, anticipate a ball down in the dirt. You can move up easily without a throw. Curveball by Jackubowski, blocked by Jojima, but it gets too far away from him. You have to move on that right away.
I like McDonald there. He had his eyes squarely focused on Travis Snyder. The second he broke, so too McDonald right behind him.
He's the lead runner. You got to watch him, see what he does. Anticipate another one if you're the runner at third.
The breaking pitch down 3-1. Nice grab. No glove required either.
Very nice catch. Now looking for a 2-out base hit here that could cash 2.
Here's the pitch. Breaking ball hits softly on the ground, and it gets through. A base hit. Snyder is home. McDonald rounds, and Bautista's driven in a pair. 4-0 Toronto.
Managers just love that 2-out RBI single. The wild pitch is going to be cashed in. 2 runs instead of 1. Curveball 3-2. Bautista gets it right under the glove of the shortstop Josh Wilson. He plates 2 with that single. And the Jays lead it now 4-0.
Sometimes it's not how hard you hit it, it's where you hit it. And that cashes 2 as Aaron Hill takes a strike. So that closes the book on Fister's night. He gives up 4 runs over 6 2/3. This is flied into short right field. Ichiro comes in, and that's it for the Blue Jays. They score 2 more. It is 4-0 in favor of Toronto. You're watching Blue Jays baseball on Rogers Sportsnet. By Burger King, home of the Whopper.
Well, you can't keep a good man down. Aaron Hill was 0 for 2 when he stepped to the plate in the 6th inning and puts a charge into this pitch from Doug Fister. Gets the Blue Jays on the board. Home run number 34 for Aaron Hill.
Visit BlueJays.com to register for a chance to win prizes with the Burger King Superfan Contest. Here's Michael Saunders again, who appropriately played his amateur ball with the Victoria Mariners of the BC Premier Baseball League. That's a league that comprises teams like the Coquitlam Reds, the North Delta Blue Jays. Facing Roy Halladay now in the big leagues, and there's the breaking ball. It is 2-1 on Saunders. His dad, Derek, is from Newfoundland, so Saunders has about 10 or 12 relatives from Gander at the ballpark tonight that he hasn't seen in about 6 or 7 years. He's very proud of his Newfoundland background. What a great province. The 2-2. And he hacks at it defensively and sends it into the crowd.
It's got to be a thrill for any young Canadian player that comes here, because this is where, as a young person, they watched with their families, maybe made a road trip to this area, maybe from the area, a la Joey Votto, to be able to get the opportunity to play in the big leagues here. It's got to be special for a young Canadian player.
And where Saunders is from, it's so competitive there, and the talent level is so good. He was telling me before the game that one of his best pals is Rene Tassoni, who is a very, very good prospect with the Minnesota Twins, playing for Team Canada right now in the World Cup. And he swings and misses. Down he goes, and that is the first out of the 8th inning. Let us remind you that it's a little cool, and some have had to huddle underneath a blanket tonight. They'll give away 10,000 of them on Sunday in the final home game of the year. The fleece blanket giveaway presented by Home Hardware. Here comes Ichiro. And he fouls that one off his foot.
That is going to leave a mark. That one went straight down. When you see Ichiro, it looks like he has gym shoes on, doesn't it? But those are spikes, but not a lot of padding. Ooh. That one looked like it went right on top of the foot. The shoes are very light, but again, not a lot of padding.
Wearing the plastic spikes.
As he always does, he pulls up the sleeve on his right shoulder and goes to work. Now 1-1. Consider this, gentlemen. He has now 2,021 hits this decade, and he missed the first year of the decade. He wasn't even here.
So he's only one of 4 players as that ball's hit to get 2,000 hits in a decade.
Yep. Rogers Hornsby had 2,085 in the 1920s. Pete Rose had over 2,000 in the 70s. Sam Rice in the 20s as well. Paul Wainer in the 30s. And here is the line on Doug Fister, an impressive 6 2/3.
Yeah, pitches into the 7th inning for the 4th time in his young major league career. Retired the first 13 batters. No walks. What new there? He had just 12 walks in the minor leagues all season long. Halladay looking for his 8th complete game of the season.
Even with the padding, he still got him.
He's picking on these Seattle Mariner hitters. Insult to injury, he's getting them out, and he's making them pay for it too. 2 batters in a row now, foul ball right off their shoe tops.
Probably owed it after yesterday's performance by Hernandez. He wasted a lot of wood here last night.
Yes, he did. I think Raul Chavez had to make a new shipment this morning. A ball and 2 strikes now. Gutierrez 1 for 3. The Mariners with 6 hits, no runs against Roy Halladay and the Blue Jays. He's over the 100 pitch mark and kicks on the 1-2, and that is strike number 3. Goodbye, Mr. Gutierrez. He is putting together another gem here tonight, and some think it might be the last time they see him pitching for the Blue Jays in this building. Friday night in Toronto, and Roy Halladay's putting on the show for the customers tonight, shutting out Seattle to this point on just 6 hits.
Dominating with all his strikeouts. And a few changes for the Mariners as they take the field here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Bill Hall takes over for Ichiro Suzuki in right field. Suzuki fouling that ball off of his foot is out of the game. Hall takes over in right. And on the mound, the veteran Carlos Silva takes over for the Mariners. The former Twin signed a huge contract here as a free agent.
To start, not relieve.
Yeah.
And here he is facing Adam Lind, who was 0 for 3. You've seen that average slip below 300. The Blue Jays were held in check by Doug Fister tonight until the 5th inning when Encarnacion broke up his perfect game bid. They scored twice on Aaron Hill's home run in the 6th inning, added 2 more in the 7th. A 2-out single by Bautista brought home 2, and it's 4-0. They have leaned on Roy Halladay, who's given up his share of doubles, but none of them have been cashed by the Mariners.
Yeah, he's gotten tough when he needed to. Keeping them off the board.
I didn't hear your interview with Jose Cruz, but he was telling me before the game that he won his fantasy baseball pool this year, due in large part to Adam Lind.
No kidding. He did, eh?
Yeah, he took Lind.
Did he take him at the draft, or did he wait till he get off to a good start?
I think in the draft.
Lind is 0 for 4 tonight. Let's bring you another Rogers Fast Fact, brought to you by Canada's fastest mobile network, 3 times faster than any other. And gentlemen, I know you'll remember this night. I was there to see the Tampa Bay Devil Rays serve up 4 home runs on this date in 2003 to Carlos Delgado. You were here, Pat?
I was here.
Sam, I assume you were here too?
Yeah. 2003, I wasn't here. I watched it on TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joe Kennedy was one of the pitchers. Travis Harper, as I recall.
I think Trevor Miller, left-hander, might have been one of them.
The last one. I think Miller was the last one.
Last one. And it was no cheapie.
No.
Hit it off the top of the Windows restaurant in deep right center field. Only Jay to hit 4 home runs
In a single game.
in a single game.
That's about as rare a feat.
Not necessarily in a single day. Otto Velez hit 4 in a doubleheader in 1980.
That's about as rare a feat as a perfect game. I think it's happened fewer times in a perfect game.
I believe you're right.
In a game. I want to say 14.
I will check the notes.
You got that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Boy, who needs Scott Carson when Tabby's flipping through his
book?
His binder. This is smoked by Vernon Wells. Dead center field. And right into the glove of Franklin Gutierrez.
You can see why he leads all major leaguers in putouts by an outfielder. He's got good range in center field. Knew exactly where that wall was and where that ball was going to come down. What a great jump. Wells caught that one a little bit off the end. Gutierrez goes back and makes it look easy.
There's Encarnacion.
You're working that book.
I got to remember where I wrote it down.
There you got to play.
Here we go. This is near us, boys. Well, this glove's doing me a lot of good tonight.
Yeah. Just put that right away.
Really tough to write with, too. I mean, you try and scribble the plays down on the scorecard.
Should have tossed it.
Hey, there's a good idea. Have you found that information yet, Pat?
Yes.
They got it.
4 home run games. There have been 15.
I said 14.
You had 14. Perfect games, now 18.
Aha.
So it is more rare than a perfect game.
Encarnacion draws a walk.
I'm impressed you've got that in your book.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
There have been 15 unassisted triple plays in Major League Baseball, too. So before the one by, who did that this year?
Eric Bruntlett.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a very rare.
And Asdrubal Cabrera last year.
And then he threw the ball away.
Yeah. I haven't seen it on eBay yet. Somebody in Cleveland has a very valuable baseball. There's Overbay.
Locked up in the Tabler residence in Cincy.
My highlight tonight was being with Pat on the field before the game and having Ken Griffey Jr. walk by, and Pat said, "Hello, Kenneth." And I said, "What, are you too tight?" And of course you are. You're from Cincinnati. I mean, all the big leaguers from Cincinnati hang out together, don't they?
There's a lot of them. He's from Cincinnati. I've known him a long, long time.
He said, "Hello, Tabby."
You know, I hope he keeps playing, because it's so fun to watch him hit. Been doing it for about 20 years in the big leagues, and just love watching him hit a baseball.
The one thing he's really done, he's added a lot to that clubhouse. When you get veteran players who've been around and been that successful, not only can they keep the clubhouse loose, but guys like Griffey can help keep the clubhouse in order as well. And it's a fine line you have to walk. I think he's doing a great job at it. He and Mike Sweeney both have been tremendous influences inside that Seattle clubhouse.
Yeah, talking to some of the Seattle people, that was the first thing they said to me was the addition of Griffey and Sweeney, what they mean in that clubhouse, the veteran leadership.
You know, make sure you're running balls out. Make sure you're showing up on time. You're not late for stretch. You're taking your PFP and your batting practice seriously. And well, sometimes those things go awry. And when you have good veteran players, they tend to bring them back into line.
There's a 3-2, grounded to the right side and past the diving Mike Carp. Encarnacion waved home, and he gets there safely as Overbay brings him in with 2 outs.
He is able to score because he got a jump. 3-2, 2 outs. He's going to take off on first movement by Silva. And Overbay's going to cash it. Looked like a changeup that was up, and he gets it right by Carp in the foul line. Good job by the fans to leave off of that ball, stay off of it, and that is going to allow Encarnacion, after a 2-out walk, to score.
Barajas flies this left center field. Saunders calls for it, and the inning ends. 1 run on a walk and a hit, and Roy Halladay's working with 5 runs coming out here to try and complete the deal against the Mariners. Roy Halladay at 42. He has managed to compile 7 of them this year, all of them pitched here at the Rogers Center. And he comes out for the 9th inning, having thrown 103 pitches, and aims for an 8th in front of an appreciative crowd of just over 20,000 tonight at the Rogers Center. I'm Jamie Campbell with Pat Tabler and Sam Cosentino.
Standing ovation for Halladay when he took the mound in the top of the inning here.
Indeed.
Looking for his 14th career shutout.
Who knows what the future holds for Halladay? The subject of so many different trade rumors in the middle of the year. Some think he may be moved in the offseason. Some think he'll be back to start opening day next year. We know this much: he is a free agent at the end of next season. And according to General Manager J.P. Ricciardi, would like to test the free agent market at the end of 2010. So if the Blue Jays don't think they can bring him back, it might serve them well to move him to another club and
make everybody
pick up some prospects.
Yeah, and that might be the avenue that they'll have to take. We will see.
Base hit to lead off for Jose Lopez. He's got 2 of them tonight. Commentator clothing is provided in part by Z Zenya. Statistical information provided by Stats Inc. And Ken Griffey Jr. steps in. 5-0 Toronto in the top of the 9th inning. Jr. 0 for 3. He struck out twice.
Mariners are going to make Halladay work for it. We were talking to Cito before the game, and he said, we asked him if he got into the 9th inning in a game like this and a chance to complete it, he said he would let his Bulldog try and finish it off. Now up to 109 pitches.
Now, Cito suggested he knows now how to read Halladay. He's got an idea as to when he's finished, but in situations like this, he lets the pitcher make the call.
His stuff will tell him. And his stuff is still pretty good.
2-1. And that's popped up. Here is Overbay. And Lopez braces as the catch is made right near him. Coming up, Sportsnet Connected, Brad Fay and Martine Guyard are talking hockey among other things. Theron Fleury cut by the Flames earlier today. That comeback is now over. A big day in the CFL too. Montreal's in Hamilton. BC at Calgary. They'll have highlights there. Adrian Beltre is the third baseman, 0 for 3.
Halladay, one of the best in the American League at getting ground balls.
That is lined right to Hill, back to first, but not in time.
And if he could get it on the ground, he would have had 2. But it looked like a line drive had a shot at it also. Heads up play by Lopez. You're down by 5 runs, nowhere to go. You don't want to find yourself out of no man's land on a line drive like that. So 2 down now. And Jojima stands between Halladay and his 14th career shutout.
The crowd rises as Halladay makes a bid for his 48th career complete game. Jojima's had his number, 2 doubles and 3 trips. Here's the ground ball. And Encarnacion goes to second. The game is over, and Roy Halladay throws a dandy against the Mariners tonight. A complete game victory, his 16th of the year. And Pat, if this is it, if this is the last time he pitches for the Blue Jays in this building, he went out